My name is Rusty McMicken, and I'm the Deputy Chief of the Salt Lake City Fire Department. Very proud to be here today. And at this time, I would like to invite the Salt Lake City Fire Department Honor Guard for the presentation of the colors and the Pledge of Allegiance. Would everyone please rise? Thank you.
Detail, halt, ready, face, present, on. Would you join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms. Ready, peace. Host, colors. Ready, face. Forward, march.
Thank you. Everyone may be seated. Just to start off this morning's ceremony, I'm going to read through some very key members that partaked in this fabulous project, and I apologize I cannot recognize everybody who was on the team that contributed to such a wonderful fire station, but just give me a few moments, and as I call your name, if you are in attendance, please rise and be recognized by this audience. Thank you. The architectural team of Blaylock and Partners, Kevin Blaylock, Brian Backey, and Brian Harris, Principal TCA Architecture and Planning Fire Station Expert. Their civil engineering team of Anderson, Whalen and Associates, electrical engineer, Spectrum Engineers, mechanical engineers, Van Borum and Frank and Associates. Structural engineers were BHB Engineers, and landscape architects G. Brown Design Incorporated. A construction company of Zwick, President and CEO Darren Zwick, Superintendent Brig Rasmussen, and Project Engineer Joshua Jackson. In Salt Lake City Corporation Facilities Division, Division Director Jim Cleland, Facilities Commissioning Authority Cameron Scott, and Maintenance Program Manager Riley Bird. From Housing and Neighborhood Development Division, Capital Asset Development Manager Todd Reeder. From the Department of Sustainability, Sustainability Program Manager Tyler Polson. From Information Management Services, Network System Engineer 2 Raul Chacon. From the City's Engineering Division, we have Deputy City Engineer Don Wagner, City Architect Sean Fife, and Project Manager Nathan Johnston. From Community Neighborhoods, Building Services Director Orion Goff. And finally, from the Salt Lake City Fire Department, Fire Chief Karl Lieb, Assistant Chief Claire Baldwin, Division Chief Chris Milne, Captain Kevin Kochever, Captain Brandon Turman, Accountant Brittany Blair, Senior Communications Technician Glenn Hollander, and Fire Prevention Inspector Firefighter Paul Carey. Thank you all for this project. And once again, I apologize, I just didn't have enough time to mention everybody, but this was a huge team and a great project to be part of. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I would like to invite Mayor Jackie Biskupski to make a few remarks. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Congratulations. Well, this is truly an extraordinary moment, not just for our city, but really for the country. The opening of this fire station is certainly a time to celebrate, but today is no ordinary day. This is Station 14, and that means something. For the first time ever in this country, we have a net zero fire station, and that is a big deal. We will lead this country on a path to clean energy and opportunity that just is not happening without the kind of leadership we see here in our city. And so congratulations to you, Chief, and to your team as you embarked upon this endeavor. As many of you may know, our fire station, or our police station, was first in the country as well, and we will continue to set the bar and leave our mark. The construction of this station is only the latest manifestation of the values of Salt Lake City. We build efficiently, and we build for the future, and we build it right. This station will serve a critical part of our city, an area that will serve as an economic driver for the city, the state, and this entire region. The construction we see here today is further evidence of our city's commitment to managing growth and economic opportunity in this neighborhood. I would again say, if you want it done right, you want it done clean, you want it done green, you do need to reach out to the experts of Salt Lake City. While the construction of Station 14 is remarkable, what is truly extraordinary are the crews who will turn Station 14 into a home away from home. Captain Chad Jefferson, are you here? Where are you? Raise your hand. Captain Jeff Clark, Captain Jared Bills, Michael Allman, Stephen Smith, Darren Brandman, Todd Nelson, Michael Stroud, Ryan Gopinski, Tyler Bloxam, Justin Porch, and Paul Parks. Thank you to all of you for your service to our community. We have done all we can to make your new home a comfortable, safe, and welcoming space. I am sure, like all of us, you are excited to begin a new chapter of the proud history of the Salt Lake City Fire Department. Everyone in Salt Lake City is lucky to be protected by the men and women like yourselves who do this work day in and day out. Without question, Salt Lake City Fire Department is the best in the country, and we will continue to lead and set the example, and I am grateful to you for all that you do. This legacy continues with the opening and groundbreaking of this station. It will continue with the opening and groundbreaking of another station, and we will continue to serve our community in the most efficient and effective ways as we continue to grow and manage our prosperity here. So thank you again for coming today and being a part of this ceremony. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, for those kind words. At this time, I'd like to invite Councilmember Andrew Johnston for a few remarks.
Welcome, everyone. I'm a little humbled to be here and privileged to stand here. 2 years ago, I was newly elected to this area, and we stood a little, probably where the kitchen is, maybe a little farther that way. on dusty ground on a hot day and sweated profusely and broke ground for this building. And it's been a long process, as many of you know intimately. But I think I remember saying at that point that this is going to be a major investment, and it has been. It's expensive to do this kind of work. It's a major investment in those who work over here every day, who travel through here. We have as many folks who come and work in this part of the city, in the west part of the city, as we do downtown every day. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people. And our investment in this facility and the crews and the people who will work out of this place is an insurance policy that they will go home safe. That's really what we're doing here. I mean, fire has changed over the decades and years, but fundamentally we are trying to ensure everyone lives and everyone goes home to their families. And I'm proud. I'm proud that we are able to do it in the way that the mayor talked about, and we'll talk about in a minute, an efficient way, a sustainable way, and a beautiful way. But the second piece I also want to bring up is 2 rooms just on the other side of this fire engine. And some of you have seen them already. One is a decon room, and one is a sauna. And some may think, why do we have a sauna in a fire station? I don't question a sauna anywhere, but in a fire station it means a lot. And here's why. The brave women and men who work out of this station and who go into harm's way don't deal with just the obvious sort of dangers. They deal with the residual effects of problematic materials and smoke and inhalation of things that are cancer-causing, frankly, that harm their long-term health, not just immediately, but after years and years after they're done. One of my neighbors is a retired firefighter, and it comes to me every time I see him now about all of the situations that he took on for me that he may still be dealing with in his health. And when we have a decon room and a sauna, it helps firefighters and others to come here after a strenuous and stressful event and be able to decontaminate, essentially, get the toxins out as much as humanly possible so that they will, at the end of their careers, go home to their families safe and have long lives and still contribute to their families and their communities. And I'm so proud of that. So thank you, Chief. Thank you for all those who have planned and executed this. I want to give thanks to all the firefighters and even politicians for decades and decades past who have built and sustained a fire department that is worthy to be emulated elsewhere, to be the envy of many around us, and who will occupy and use this type of a building to its full potential. So thank you all for your service, especially you. Thank you for those who have planned this and made it sustainable and to contribute and invest in the long-term health and welfare of your families and you individually. I'm so proud to have you on the west side of Salt Lake. Thank you again.
Thank you, Council Member. At this time, I'd like to invite Sustainability Program Manager Bridget Stuchly for a few remarks.
Thank you, Chief McMicken. I'm so honored to be here today to represent the Sustainability Department at this momentous occasion. Salt Lake City is committed to powering our government operations and ultimately the whole community with clean, renewable energy. We take pride in leading by example when it comes to reducing energy waste and leveraging clean energy to power our facilities. Fire Station 14, as a net zero and LEED Gold facility, represents a great leap forward for Salt Lake City. We have previously invested in solar power for over a dozen separate government sites and are committed to energy efficiency and a cleaner vehicle fleet. However, this new building represents a modern approach to responsibly built government facilities that minimize energy waste and ongoing utility costs. This station represents what's possible today with existing technologies. A well-designed fire station is not only equipped to protect the community in the event of an emergency, but also protects public health each day it operates by requiring far less dirty energy through smart design solar panels that collect energy from the sun. In Salt Lake City, the amount of electricity created by a single solar panel over its lifetime is equivalent to burning 10,000 pounds of coal. This facility boasts 300 solar panels. These stations are also representative of what we'd like to achieve community-wide with our climate positive goals. Climate Positive 2040 is a community plan and platform that was developed in response to a joint resolution adopted by the Mayor and City Council. The underlying goal is to reduce carbon pollution emitted by the community 80% by 2040. This includes all emissions from energy sources such as electricity and natural gas, and even transportation fuels. Achieving net 100% renewable electricity community-wide by 2030 is the first key milestone of this plan, and we are confident that this can be accomplished with our utility, Rocky Mountain Power. In part because Utah is one of the 10 sunniest states and has recently emerged as one of the top solar energy producers in the country. This station was built in compliance with the city's executive order that requires all new municipal facilities to meet a net zero carbon target. What this means is that we estimate the annual amount of carbon pollution that will be created from the electricity and natural gas use. As part of the design process, we ensure our new buildings are energy efficient and then invest in enough renewable energy, either on-site or remotely, to offset this energy. Net zero also means smart construction and fiscal responsibility, plus being responsive to our community values, which include reducing pollution and its associated public health impacts. Upgrading and investing our fire stations not only benefits our first responders' ability to act quickly, it has huge potential to reduce utility costs. Our fire department has shown incredible leadership and commitment, whether it's through the design of this building and future fire stations, their trip chaining to reduce fuel costs, and also even just remembering to bring their reusable shopping bags when they go to the grocery store. We applaud their efforts and contribution to helping the city meet its ambitious climate positive goals. And I encourage you all to go visit slcgreen.com to learn more about climate positive and also what you can do to help the city meet these ambitious targets. Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget. At this time, I would like to invite to the podium Fire Chief Karl Lieb.
Good morning. I want to welcome everyone to brand new Fire Station 14. We're very excited you're here to join us today. There's one thank you, there have been a lot of thank yous, but there's one that we did not accomplish. And I want to mention it for sure. As my appointed lead for this project and a seasoned veteran for buildings, Chief Rusty McMicken did a wonderful job overseeing the fire department's interests in this structure. And it's certainly worthy of note. Thank you. Fire stations. New fire stations are not common. I mean, there are departments that go decades without building a new fire station. Fire stations with this kind of efficiency and this kind of sophistication are even more uncommon. Net zero LEED Gold fire stations are non-existent until today. And you're here to witness the grand opening of the very first one in this country, as the mayor mentioned. We're very excited about that. I want to share a quick story that just occurred this morning relating to this. I'm getting ready to come to this event. I'm putting on the fancy uniform, putting on the shiny shoes. My kids love the shiny shoes. I don't know what it is about these shoes, but they love them. My 8-year-old boy says, "Dad, what do you have going today? It's a shiny shoe day, huh?" I said, "Yeah, it is, Tyke. It's shiny shoe day. What's happening?" I said, "Well, we're opening the very first net zero LEED Gold fire station today." He says, "What'd you pack me for lunch?" Our kids don't know what it means to them 10, 20, 30 years down the road. But facilities like this are going to have an impact on future generations. And Salt Lake City doesn't just talk about sustainability and being environmentally friendly and conscious. They put their money where their mouth is. They invest in it. And projects like these are not possible without the leadership of Mayor Biskupski, the council support, thank you, Councilmember Johnston, Councilmember Kitchen, and frankly, the foresight of the residents of Salt Lake City. So it's a credit to them. This is extraordinary, and we're happy to be such a good part of it. I want to take a moment to thank the firefighters, not only those that are going to be moving into the station. I was going to say 12 hours, but it'll be about 15 minutes after this ceremony is over. You're going to see them start coming in here. But I want to thank the 345 members of the Salt Lake City Fire Department. We have anxiously awaited this day. And we have had people over here on a daily basis pretty much for the last month and a half. And there's a lot of work involved with a new station opening. They have an enormous impact on the logistics of the department. From the movement of the equipment to the change in response districts to the technology involved in dispatch and notifications, a move of this magnitude obviously is going to reveal some challenges. I mean, there's going to be some quirks, and we know that. But the fire department has a reputation of being great problem solvers. So we're either going to resolve the problems, or we're going to adapt, or we're going to push forward. And I believe the moving of current Station 14 to this station will have minimal impact on our operations. And that speaks volumes about the firefighters that are here and the job that they do. With Station 14, where we stand right now, and many of us sit right now, the size of the station will no longer dictate the resources that are available to the public. Traditionally, we have built stations that have just been too small, they have been inadequate to provide the facility, the space, the equipment to run professional emergency response. And that's not going to be the case here. This facility is built to accommodate the anticipated growth here in the southwest part of the city. And as you can see with the windows in this bay, there is a lot going on in this district. And we anticipate it to grow. And sooner rather than later, this station is going to be used to its full capacity. And we'll be using every foot of this bay and every bed that you're going to see in the station very soon. Now regarding the crews that will be working here. As the mayor and the council member alluded to, for 48 hours straight, they will call this building home. They will eat here, they will sleep here, they will train here, and they'll rehab here. And it really becomes a very close-knit mini community within the community. Just as they do at their current fire station 14, located at 1560 Industrial Road, they're going to run emergency response out of here, but they're going to have the facilities and the capabilities and the infrastructure right here at the station that's going to mean a world to the residents here. I mean, it really does make a difference. The station they're coming from was built in 1968. It is 50 years old, and it's about 8,000 square feet. That's a little bit bigger than the bay that we're standing in right now. That's where they're moving from. It's frankly no longer capable of supporting the type of professional emergency response indicative of a Class 1 fire department, which we are. It will soon, however, be part of a larger dedicated Salt Lake City Fire Department training center, and when it is renovated later this year. To give you some perspective, in 1968, Lyndon B. Johnson was the president. The Graduate was the most popular movie of that year, and the 911 system was just getting started. We've come a long way since then, and the facilities that house our equipment and the first responders reflect the emphasis that many fire departments across this country now have on renewable energy, livability, healthy lifestyles, stress-free environments, and accommodations that maximize productivity. It's clear that Salt Lake City not only cares about the impact such buildings have on the environment, but also the impact they have on the people that work within them. In short, the productive collaboration between Salt Lake City, the architects, the builder, and the fire department has resulted in a building that works, and it works for everyone. When you walk through the station today, there are a few things I would like you to just take notice of. The gym, where the firefighters spend time preparing themselves to meet the intensive physical demands of this job. The semi-private dorm rooms, where firefighters take time to mentally relax, study, and familiarize themselves with department protocols. The sauna rays that the council member mentioned on the other side of this engine, where the firefighters will physically detox following a fire response. And the beautiful kitchen table that you'll see soon, crafted by the firefighters, some of who are in this bay right now, where they will gather, they'll plan their day, they'll debrief, and they socialize. All these components work together to improve the daily lives of the firefighters who live here in the station. That makes them better at their jobs, better able to serve the residents and visitors here in Salt Lake City. The expectation of the businesses in this district, the warehouses, the manufacturing and distribution centers that line California Avenue, is that we are there when they call, that we support their safety goals, and that we'll be good neighbors. And that's what we plan to do. We will take pride in meeting that expectation from a facility that greatly benefits both the firefighters and the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. At this time, I'd like to invite Mayor Jackie Biskupski, Councilmember Andrew Johnston, and Fire Chief Karl Lieb, along with the crew from Station 14, for the ceremonial length of hose extrication tool cutting.